Hi, everyone. It's Rabbi Dr. Jack Cohen, dating coach, shadchan, and public lecturer. We continue the series on the Parsha of the week with my Rabbi Avigdor Miller. This coming week is Parshas Mishpatim. It teaches us one of the most misunderstood ideas in Judaism. People often think spiritual greatness begins with lofty intentions, deep kavanos, mystical experiences, or powerful inspiration. But the Torah teaches us something very different. Immediately after the Ten Commandments, right after Hashem says, I am your God, the Torah moves straight into the next parsha of this week, Mishpatim, which are the laws of damages, money, responsibility, and everyday interactions. That is not an accident. There's no such thing as random in the Torah. Mishpatim, which is laws, is the first rung on the ladder of greatness. The Torah is teaching us that before a person can become holy, before that person can reach spiritual perfection, they must first become honest, careful, responsible. They have to live amongst other people. Rabbi Miller explains that these laws are not technicalities, and they're not small. They're the foundations of how you serve God. A person who damages someone else's property, even accidentally, the Torah tells us he's responsible. That person is careless with his possessions, and he's harming someone else. And the Torah says, you know what? You're accountable, because the Torah Jew is never allowed to live with the attitude of, oh, it wasn't intentional. It's not my fault. The Torah demands awareness of other people, awareness of your consequences, awareness that the world is not random. A person who is careless in Mishpatim or laws is careless in life. A person who is careful in Mishpatim is training himself for greatness. That is why the Gemara says that someone who wants to become truly pious, who wants to rise to higher levels, should begin with studying the laws of damages. Yes, don't start with fasting, not with sigulos or charms, not with dramatic spiritual exercises. Be honest, be fair, be responsible. Before a person can choose to serve God, he must be trustworthy to other people. Rabbi Miller teaches that every time a person stops himself and says, I have to be careful not to inconvenience others, not to harm others, that person is polishing his soul. He's becoming refined. He's building the foundation upon which all higher service to God stands. That is why Mishpatim follows Sinai. Hashem is telling us, if you want to serve me, start by being careful with my world. Start by guarding other people's money. Start by respecting their space. Start by being responsible when it's inconvenient. That's how a person climbs, not by jumping to the top of the ladder, but by standing firmly on the first rung. Once that rung is solid, everything else can rise. That's Parshas Mishpatim. Have a great week.